Dr. Jagvinder Singh, chairman of the India-Australia Strategic Alliance, has been in news recently for his amazing community outreach. He, along with Mr. Simon Quinn, organized a chartered flight from India to Australia to bring back more than 400 stranded Australians home. There are a few more of these rescue flights that Dr. Singh has planned. In fact, one is scheduled to fly out today on 16th of April and another on 18th of April from Delhi to Melbourne. I also have today with me Dr. Jasvinder Sidhu joining us. We both will be talking about this amazing public work with Dr. Jagvinder Singh, focusing on his community work in Australia, the plan for further flights, and how people who he has helped have responded. So welcome Dr. Jagvinder and welcome Jaswinder for joining with us today.
Thank you. Sat Shri Akal. Good morning, Vikrantji, and good morning, Sidhu Sahab, for raising a very important issue for our community today.
Sat Shri Akal ji, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਵੀ.
So Jagvinder ji, many thanks for joining us. So we have heard the particular saying, desperate times calls for desperate measures. In the backdrop of the current COVID-19 situation with a lockdown on air travels, how did you manage this feat of getting more than almost 444 Australians from India?
Look, this was initially 10 days back. We were not thinking at all about those flights. When we thought there was a flight from Air India 16th, 17th, 18th, I was so relieved. I'm touched with that group only to helping, like Mr. Jaswinder is doing in Melbourne and other community people are doing for Melbourne for food or medicines. And then what happened on 2nd April, 3rd April, I got to know from my sources there will be no flight till first week of May. And then Air India also started writing emails said we are not flying. So it was a panic situation. Look, for all the people who are there in India, people who are in job here in Australia, if they will wait till first week of May, then it was a disaster for them. Then they will lose their jobs and all those things, right? Then I have spoken with Rod Hilton, our Deputy High Commissioner. Simon touched with me. Simon said, "What should we do?" I said, "Let's. I will talk to Deputy Prime Minister, who is in charge of aviation, we say transport here, Minister for Transport, and Michael McCormack." And I spoken with him. He said, "Look, I told him. I said Qantas is not going there. They are charging too much, $3,500, $4,000." And High Commission done a survey as well for those flights, and out of 2,500 people, only 3.5% willing to pay that money, and then that means that is not viable. I said we have to talk to some companies. You know some companies. He said, "Dr. Virk, there are few in Australia. Just Google it. Someone sent us their link as well. Like friends like you, and we start talking to Brendan. He's in Victoria from Melbourne, status company. Then he got another person, Royce, from Victoria. It was last Saturday, right? And 10 days back, I said we need your assistance, we need your guidance, and they said yes. Tell us. No, initially they said it will be $2,800, $3,000. I said, look, our people can't afford those flights. You have to reduce the money, and they have done very good job, about $22.50. They sent all the emails to our High Commissioner in Delhi, and I spoken with Rod. It was then the Sunday they drafted all the email. They sent the email to High Commission, and then Monday onwards they said, look, we can get the planes from Singapore or Indonesia, but we can't guarantee you to get the approvals from India. So getting approvals from India, it was a hard step. We can't do it because we're an Australian company. They will not allow us to getting. It will take at least 2-3 months to get any company to get proper approvals, 45 days, 60 days. Then, as Mr. Dr. Sidhu knows, look, I go frequently to India after 2 months, 3 months. I got my connectivity in India as well. Last November, we took former Prime Minister Tony Abbott to India as well. I was a part of trade delegation as well. Anurag Thakur is my very dear friend, who is a finance minister. Shaurya Dawal, who is the head of India Foundation, is the think tank of BJP. I know Puri Saab, I know Jai Shankar ji, secretaries. I know some ministers. I know Niti Yog. So then I called them on Monday. I called everyone. I said, we need your help. I need this file to be moving as quickly as possible. And They said, Doc, you just ask your High Commissioner to send us an email properly so we can proceed. And just, I want to share that news with you. On Wednesday, the file has gone to the department, to MEA and DGCA. There are two departments involved, MEA, Ministry of External Affairs, and the aviation company, DGCA, which comes under Aviation Ministry. And they cleared our file in 3 hours. 3 hours they clarified, and Wednesday evening, we got the approval to fly our flight on Friday. But unfortunately, because we have to get the major challenge was because India was in curfew and still is in curfew. We have to get people from Rishikesh, from Uttarakhand, from UP, from Punjab in curfew to Delhi. It was a big task to get those people. So that it took us. Then we delayed 1 day more flight to get those people to Delhi. We taken a help of Chief Ministers of Punjab, Chief Minister of Haryana, Chief Minister of Himachal, and then Uttarakhand as well, and some police assistance in all those areas. So we created a war room in Chandigarh, and that war room is connected with everyone to get those people to Delhi. And those people reached Delhi, and everyone last Saturday night they landed in Melbourne.
Dr. Virk, I had a couple of questions, I think, but you have already covered my question. So my question was, what was the key reason that that prompted you to get involved? Although you mentioned that, and I should mention that you have done a lot of work over the last many years when the Honorable Tony Abbott was Prime Minister. From that time till today, you are involved in promotion of relationships between Australia and India at basically the strategic level. So I believe your work done with the business community and that has helped in this case. And it won't be wrong to say that if you did not have those contacts, then these people, hundreds and few thousand people, will still be in India. And then I know that some of my friends and their parents were stuck there, and they contacted me, and they were really worried because, as you know, as we all know, that this new infection, coronavirus infection, infects elderly more than the young people. So would that be right to say that without those contacts, these flights were not possible?
Yeah, without those contacts, it was next to impossible. Impossible is a very small word. Next to impossible. It could not be. There were no permissions. I give you example of today, right? Now we have more 4 flights. Today there's a flight coming, and day before yesterday they imposed a curfew in India till 3rd May, right? And about the international airlines, our Prime Minister Modi ji, Indian Prime Minister, strictly category said there will be no flights, right? Neither from India, neither from. Then last night it took us another 6-7 hours to tell them, look, our families have already booked the tickets and all the flights, because now we have scheduled flight for 16th today, Vikrant, and there's another flight for 18th that we had delayed for another 1 day because we need rooms in Victoria. So and now one flight is coming today, and second flight from Delhi is coming on 19th now, and then 19th and 20th there are another 2 flights for another 400 people, 444 people from Chennai and Mumbai. Now there are 4 flights coming to
Do you have an idea how many Australian citizens and permanent residents are stuck in India, and of them how many have contacted you?
Yes, we had created 4 groups: North, South, West, and East. Most of the people are in North, and around 8,000 Australian citizens and PR are stuck in India. 8,000 minimum, maybe 10% more, or maybe 20% more. But I have the list of 8,000 people who are stuck in India.
Dr. Virk, you have been involved in politics for a very long period, and even longer than I have been involved. So you understand very well how bureaucracies work in India and Australia. And I don't think it will be wrong to say, if you were not involved and if you did not have those contacts, then these hundreds of people would still be stuck in India. And you were able to work through the complexities of Indian bureaucracy, and you were also able to work through the Australian bureaucracy, and both work at different pace and different levels. So I just want to congratulate you And I also want to thank you on behalf of hundreds of people that you were able to help them. And I have a friend whose elderly parents were stuck in Bathinda, and they are landing in Australia only because of your assistance. And I can tell you the level of anxiety and the level of worry that that family had about elderly parents, that if, as you know, that the virus infection affects the elderly people more than the young people. So I think Vikrant will join me to congratulate you. Not only congratulate you, more than congratulations, we should thank you that you developed those relationships and you were able to use those relationships right at the time of crisis. And I must also say that various levels of governments, various state governments and federal governments should do what you are doing. And I don't know why there was a delay. We won't go into that, but I just want to thank you and congratulate you.
Thank you, Dr. Sidhu, and you're absolutely right. You know, some stories we can't share on Facebook. 80% of the stories, people are very depressed. I can't share all those things, but a couple of things. Some ladies are pregnant. Some old age is a big issue, and some cases, some kids are with Down syndrome. Like they are depressed as well, and there are a lot of depression going on in the community. That's why I took that step. And yesterday, Vikrant, I hope you understand a little bit of Hindi as well.
Yes,
I tell you one thing. Yesterday, you know, all our Indian bureaucracy, the most people are from Uttar Pradesh and Bihar in India, right? And not Punjabis. What happened? Because I talked to them in Hindi or another language. Yesterday I was so upset. I'm just because I need those permissions, right? So वो जो अपने जो bureaucracy है इंडिया में, all our bureaucrats, and they called those ministers, भाई Dr. Virk is very stressed. भाई क्या हुआ Dr. Virk को? Why वो इतना गुस्से में क्यों है? भाई वो एक bureaucrat ने मुझे बोला, मैं जी अगर permission ना मिली, where our all people will go? 440 people today they're landing in Delhi. And where they will go for next 4 days, 5 days is the flight. You are not confirming the flight. I said no, and they said Dr. Virk is shouting loud at us. But what is the position of Dr. Virk? And they said don't worry, he is our friend, and he is more than for us. He is more than a minister right now because he is developing those relationships with India, and we have to stand with him. And Vikrantji, yesterday I will share those snapshots with Jasvinder in next half an hour, and he can share with you, sir. And I know a lot of people in Delhi. Yesterday I called everyone. All from the top. I said no, I need those permissions, otherwise our people are stuck. So you have to pick up the phone. You have to pick up the phone and say yes, you need this, because when you feel the pain of those people, then you and I don't know them at all, but Dr. Sidhu was mentioning people from Bathinda or anyone, people from Maharashtra, Chennai. I don't know anyone, but when you are helping those people, Vikrant, whom you don't know, then you feel a inner satisfaction, right? That's what gets me going for last 10 days, 15 days. And on just Dr. Sidhu's one question when he said the governments, right? Look, the governments can do a lot of things as well. Governments have a lot of pressure as well. For Australian government, they have to get another people as well. But there is a lacking of. Look, I am a Liberal Party, and I'm telling you on your thing. If foreign minister instructs someone, some planes, Qantas or Virgin, go to India and get our people there, I don't think so. They can refuse that, right? That was what we can. What we are doing right now, Vikrant. We booked 5 flights, around 2,200 people. But what will happen to another 6,000 people? That is the question right now. I have not have any approvals anymore. Just for your knowledge, I have only 5 approvals, and 5 approvals is all the flights are full. So that is the issue. That is a big issue right now. People are satisfied now they are here, but one thing I must again, Mr. Sidhu, and after this Corona thing goes, all our Labour and Liberal MPs, all our functions, we invite them to our functions. Labour and Liberal, I'm telling them both, and all the Green, all parties. Not a single When I say not a single, there are some few leaders from the National Party and they don't have Indian votes. Like people like Michael McCormack, people like Senator Matt Canvan, who have nothing to do with the Indian community. They stood by me in this crisis. Not a single Labour and Liberal federal MP or a minister, right, stood by us, right, or any MP who said, no, I will take that initiative. I have to get people from Indian community, right? That is a very, very, that we will raise after 1 month or 2 months when all the things settle down, right? But there's no help, right? So that's a very concern as well from my side as well. We are connected with those liberals. We invite them to functions or independent functions and to our holy functions, to Baisakhi function, to Diwali functions. And when the crisis comes, there is none. And Mr. Sidhu can correct me on there as well. If you can tell me single Liberal or Labour MP from Victoria, right, who have stood by us from getting the people from India. I don't know anybody from New South Wales. If you know someone, please tell me the name.
I think, Dr. Virk, you have raised a very important point. And as you said, after the virus crisis is over, this is also for those people who in our communities want to become political activists, that the actual test of political involvement is at the time of crisis. When there is a function going on, Holi, Diwali, that is not the time to test political leadership. And I'm talking about people from our community who want to become active. So I will ask another question, Dr. Virk. My understanding is that due to this curfew in India, people are not able to use their cars and travel from their hometowns to Delhi. So what were the logistics?
Look, the passes was a big issue. In the last flight, we have given the passes to people from Australian High Commission pass, but still it's a curfew in India. And then we have created, as I told you, we have created a war room in Chandigarh to help COVID war room for Australians. And we have connected with the Home Secretary Punjab, Rahul Bhandari, dear friend, then Dushant Chautala, Deputy Chief Minister Haryana, and Khattar Sahab as well. They have given me one IS rank officer, IPS officer, where if any problem occurs on the way, that phone call goes to war room, and then war room calls directly to me or to the concerned people. And then it was a 36-hour operation. It was not a small operation, I can tell you in 1 minute. It was very hard to get 440 people to Delhi from different states, but we have done it. From Rishikesh, it was very difficult. From Uttar Pradesh, it was very difficult. From another states, from Gujarat, it was very difficult. From Rajasthan, it was very difficult. But look, it like if I know Jasvinder know Vikrant know this. That's how we are connected, and that's how we have got all the people in Delhi. But now, what we have done, Vikrant and Dr. Sidhu, what we have done right now, we High Commission because MEA said, Ministry of External Affairs said, no, this pass is not approved in the future. No, you have to get your people in buses like US Embassy does. Now, Australian High Commission hired some company called KTC. KTC has all the list of people who have booked the tickets. Like they sent few buses to Ludhiana yesterday, to Amritsar, to Bathinda, to Chandigarh, to Haryana to get all those people. Now people are coming. Yesterday, people came to near airport, Delhi, and those buses. Now people are in the hotel last night, and now as we speak in a few hours. In few hours, there is a flight, Indian time, 12 p.m., 1 p.m. Indian time, there is a flight from Delhi. Now, those buses will pick again those people from hotel. It is the Aero City near the airport, and drop those people to airport. That's what we have done right now.
Okay. So, Dr. Jagvinder, can I ask you, do you have to take any special precaution to fly off these passengers? What are the kind of precautions, especially due to COVID-19 restrictions that we have at the moment?
Most of the people in last flight, when they were traveling and when they're traveling the plane, most of the people are wearing masks, right? And they are sanitizing their hands as well. And there is a protocol at the airport as well, 1.5 meter, 2 meter difference in the immigration, in the entering of the airport. That's the precaution they are using it anyway. But all the people, just for your knowledge, they when they landed in Melbourne, and everything have been checked, temperature checked, everything. There were doctors sitting there, and all people are fine. Like just for your knowledge, and our people are staying in 2 hotels One is Mercure and another is Travel Lodge in Melbourne right now.
Okay. So they are being quarantined the moment they are back here for 2
Yes,
weeks.
14 days. Yes.
I have a question, couple of questions. One question is, what is the reaction of community, reaction of families in India, reaction of families here? I understand that some people, their father is here, the children and the wife is in India, so they were not sure what was happening, and already gave example of elderly parents. So what is the summary of reactions?
So, look, I can share you some snapshots after this. The depression was very high level. That there people are very depressed, right? And people send me those messages, and I'm telling you, lot of people are depressed. The woman, and there are ladies who with kids are depressed, and there are some families who just went to India, and their kids are back in Melbourne, right? And some people are there whose wife don't know how to drive here in Australia, and she's now she can't move all the. It's not a one thing. There are 20 or 30, 40 depression items there, but people are depressed. I must say, people were depressed, but now at least they are happy, they are fine, and they are sending me messages, sitting in the hotels right now, and now they are fine.
I also want to say that people in our community who want to become activists in future, I think the benefit of political activism for community is only when you are able to help them in the time of crisis. Otherwise, what is the
100%.
use of becoming politically active?
No, that's why, Dr. Sidhu, you have seen me in the past as well. I'm not involved in Diwali. Look, I go all the time, but I'm not involved in doing these functions, Diwali, Dussehra or Baisakhi, or what do you say, celebrating Independence Day, the day, not in one place, in 20 places, in Melbourne and 20 places in Sydney, right? Our community has not understood one thing till date. If we are celebrating Independence Day, we should be celebrating Independence Day at one place, at least in one stadium, where there are 50,000 people there, where Prime Minister comes there. Then we can show our strength. We are celebrating 20 Independence Days in Melbourne, and there are maybe another 30 Independence Day in Sydney, right? So that's
Right.
why I don't do these type of things. But I think this, like when you said, when you do these things, Vikrant, and I can, and if I may say, is from inner soul. I helped a lot of people in my life, Vikrant. Lot of people in my life. Dr. Sidhu knows whom I know, right? Whom I know. But this is the first time in my life, right? This is the first time, again I'm telling you, this is the first time in my life when you're helping those people who are in need and you don't know them and they don't know me. 90% of the people don't know me. Some people are calling me, Dr. Virk, we just got to know, but you are a businessman, you're so and so. 90% of the people don't knew me, and I don't knew either of them. Now we are connected as a family, right? That is the main thing. But it's give you inner peace. When you say inner peace, it has given me inner peace. I have not slept for last 10 days. You can see my eyes, right? But when you do these things, if I sleep 2 hours, last night I slept 3 hours, and I'm fine. That's inner peace gets going. So that's what I felt, Dr. Sidhu, in this crisis.
So I think the way you use technology, that is also very commendable. I understand that you created a Facebook group and a number of WhatsApp groups, and then hundreds of people were able to join you within, I think, a matter of a few hours.
But that is our if we can, you are a political person, Dr. Sidhu, and myself, if we can't do these things, that is a political, in political sense, that is ABC, right?
Yes.
That's we know how to get the people together and how to get the things moving. That's what we have done.
So I have one last question. Are there any issues that you are facing or people are facing after landing in Australia?
There's a good question. There's no major issue, but the major issue is food, right? Victorian government, your health minister, I requested you in this morning as well. If you can talk that thing with your health minister in Victoria, because a lot of people are old people, kids. You know,
Mhm.
mostly Indians are vegetarian, 50, 60%, 70%, right? So
Yeah.
they are getting the food from the hotel. Government has given them a coupon of $90 per person to get
Mhm.
order the food from the hotel, breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever they want. But you know, in my life, I never stayed 14 days in the. I stayed a lot of time in the hotels, but not closed, right? But at least I need my food. My food is my Indian food. Everyone, right? So I think as Victorian government should allow at least next in Sydney you allow to order food from outside.
Great.
If you can take that call to talk to the premier, Dr. Sidhu, and if they allow at least once or twice,
Mhm.
and we can give them a list of restaurants where they can provide that food in the
Mhm.
lobby itself, and that food and people can pay directly to them, right? That's none of the government's concern, right?
Mhm.
Dal, sabji, like whatever people wants to eat, right? Then they feel good from inside. When you're eating Indian food, you feel good and energetic, right? If a person like me, if I can't get Indian food, I can eat Australian food maybe once time, twice or
Mhm.
thrice, but I need third time my Indian food. I think if now there are 444 people already here,
Mhm.
another
Yeah.
444 people coming tomorrow. There are another 1,000 people coming on 20th. There are another 444 people coming on Tuesday. So then 1 month, this is going to be 1 month. And then I'm organizing another 2 flights, but I've not got the approvals yet. But
Mhm.
but we need that food delivered to those seniors and senior citizens. Look, as a doctor, I can tell you one thing. If the senior citizens get constipated with those food, it gives them mental depression as well, right?
Mhm.
So that's why we need Indian food to be delivered at least once or otherwise twice in the lunch, and people come and deliver the food in the lobby. Yes,
Mhm. I
yes,
think I'm
Okay.
sure I can follow that up with you and with the community.
yes. Not follow up only, Dr. Sidhu. You people now, your Labour government is there in Victoria. You have to take that initiative. You have to get lobbying to all your Labour people, our Indian community. Get your Labour MPs, our Indian community MPs, or whatsoever MPs. Create a group. Make a pressure on your health minister. Please allow us. Then it can be done.
Yes, I will do that as soon as we finish this interview, and I'll give you the update.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Sidhu.
So, Dr. Jagvinder, one question I was saying a couple of people raised about the flight pricing issue.
Hmm.
So, what has been your kind of experience with the kind of flight price you have kept it at around
Look,
$2,200?
yes, I tell you, Vikrant, it was the cheapest flight ever, any chartered flights it ever in any country, just for your knowledge, right? Otherwise, the chartered flights to Canada is $3,700, $3,800. New Zealand just sent the email yesterday to all their citizens stuck in India for $5,500. I will share that email with Dr. Jasvinder as well. They are charging $5,500 one way ticket from New Zealanders. Yes, there are some issues, but 70% of people are individuals, or maybe one or two, they are in jobs. There are some people who have 3 kids, 4 kids. I told them not to come. There's no need to spend 13, 40 grand on this for 1 month only. Let's wait for flights to open from India in January, in May, and then you come. Yes, there are issue, but I can tell you, issue is only 5% people, not 95% people. I must say that. When we opened the flights day before yesterday, and Dr. Sidhu knows that, 2 flights, 888 people. In 7 hours, those flights have been booked. And now I have, if I right now I can't open my WhatsApp. Now I got a list of another 700, 600 people from only from Punjab who wants to fly to next flight, but there's no flight. There are people want to come back, whatever the money is, whatever the costing is, right? People want to come back and start their life. At least I think how our COVID thing is coming down day by day in Australia. In first week of May, I can visualize it. I can visualize it in my. We will be having maybe 300 or 400 cases by first week of May. That's why I can visualize it. Then will be as well after. Schools are going to well. Like yesterday, Prime Minister said, next week I think Victoria schools have been open already. In New South Wales, there will be opening of schools as well. There will be movement from next week as well. So now, if when people comes, they stay there for 2 weeks in the hotel, then they can start their life again in May.
Okay. So, yeah, that was quite a good overview that you have given and the kind of insight that you have given about your work. Any last thing would you like to add before we end this
I,
particular
I,
discussion with you?
yes, Vikrant, that's my request is we can only do to some extent what we have done. The fight is still going. Our war is not finished yet. I'm onto it every day. As I told you, there are 8,000 people, citizens and PR, and there are thousands of students there as well. They are connected with me. There are thousands and thousands of people who are in those sponsorship categories. The war is still on, right? But for the right now, my concern is my request to the Prime Minister, my request to Foreign Minister, right? What we have done, we have done. Please send those planes from here who are standing here, Qantas, Virgin, and tell them to not to charge $3,500, $4,000. Charge at least $2,000 at least, or $2,200. Get our people from India, and otherwise our people will be stuck for another 45 days or till the flights, or maybe at least 1 month in India till the flight starts. And for example, there are some people in Bihar, there are some people in South Bangalore, there are some people in another states where people can't move in because there's no domestic. But at least if Australian government should send the planes to them and get our people. What we are doing, and I'm very honest to you, maybe I can get another 2 flights. Maybe I'm fingers crossed in the next 10 days. Maybe, and if I should have done it, then it will be 3,000 people. Where 5,000 people will go? That's my concern.
Okay, oh, that's fair enough. And any last thing you would like to add or ask Jasvinder?
I just want to again congratulate Dr. Virk and thank him on behalf of those 2,000 people or so he has been able to get through. Those 2,000 people means hundreds of more people who are directly or indirectly connected with them. But at the same time, as he said, I think governments should intervene now. As he said, there are flights sitting there, not flying. And the cost is borne by the residents anyway. The government, it is no burden to government. So government should get people who are stuck there 5,000 or 6,000 as soon as practically possible. As Dr. Virk said, governments are also under pressure. They are working under pressure as well. So we can only request that government should get people out as soon as possible.
One more important thing, Vikrant, I just got in my mind. You know, I'm trying for last 4 days. Western Australian government don't allow plane to land in Perth, right? There are 400 people stuck in India, in Punjab, who are from Perth only. They can't come to Melbourne because again they have to go back. It's a very expensive exercise. And there are another 400 people stuck in Punjab who are from Brisbane, not Punjab only, in India, who are stuck from Brisbane. Brisbane government don't allow that as well, right? So that's also an issue as well. Those governments, Queensland government and Western Australian government, should allow those flights to land in the states and look after their people for 14 days. And that is also another task what I'm working on as well.
Great. So many thanks, Dr. Jagvinder. You have really gone out of your way to respond to the needs of the Australians stranded in India. The kind of response that we have seen online is phenomenal. People are really grateful for your service and the kindness that you have shown. Thanks again for joining with us, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.